Right here is someone else's work for their Mass Effect armor. They actually got it set up on a dummy. What you want to do is you want to copy one of these photos here, like this. So I'm just going to go on my copy tool, Control C, and I'm going to go back to my armor here, and I'm going to paste this in as a new layer. And unfortunately, it's not the right size, so we can go into our Photoshop, put the scale it up to the way we want it. Now what I did is I actually made this canvas size to my measurement, but what I did is I added, you have to do your math, because what you'll need to do, you need to get even printer pages across. So the way I had it was I have 3 across and 3 down, so this is going to print off 9 pages. Now what you want to do is, this layer is kind of over top, so what you want to do is, and it's not moving, oh right, okay, we'll say, well, for rough estimate's sake, we'll say that this is what we want. So what you want to do now is make sure that this is over top of it, and what you want to do now is take the opacity, put it down to about 50% so you can see it. So what you want to do is the top layer here, the drawn armor bits, you want to resize that so that it fits around. And everything's going to fit around, because these pieces right here, when you cut them out and you use your craft foam, you're gonna heat them and mold it around your body. But basically, you just want to size everything up. What I would recommend doing is selecting separate pieces, bringing them into this and sizing it to the way you want, and then what you want to do is bring it in over to your canvas and then save it that way. So what I need to do here, and I think I just screwed the pooch on this, or did I? No? Okay. So I need to trash that because I don't need that anymore, but I'm saving this because just to keep it the way everything is going. So now that you've got the chest piece down, what you want to do is take the ruler and measure 8.5 by 11 pieces. So 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 11. I had a little trouble down here in this last part. It was only going at 11 point something, but just with a little bit of resizing, you can fix that. So then what you want to do is take your rectangle marquee, drag over, and if you have the snap feature on, it'll snap in on Photoshop. So I'm going to copy it with Control C, and then what you want to do is go up into File, go to New, and it'll actually read on your clipboard here. So, well, this is just an example, it's not the right measurements, but it should say 8.5 by 11. So then you're going to hit OK, then you'll get the canvas size, and then you paste this in, and then it'll have it on here. So the reason why you're doing this is because if you try to print off this whole file, you're probably only going to get this bit. For some reason, Photoshop doesn't want to split this into 9 pages, so that's why you got to do the copy and pasting. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you over into the bin I created for myself, my work bin, and in here are the pieces that I've actually printed off, taped together, and cut. Now, what you want to do, since you've got 3 by 3, you've got 9 pages, what you want to do is actually cut, or not cut, do not cut first. I learned this the hard way, and it actually added a lot more time to the project. What you want to do is, when you get all 9 pages printed off, lay them on the floor in order, and you guys can't see me right now, so let me get in the light. You want to lay the pieces on the floor in order, make sure they're lined up perfectly together. Then take some tape, it could be packer's tape, it can be masking tape, any kind of tape. Tape all the edges together so that it forms one huge page. Then you can start your cutting. So I'm going to show you here some of the pieces now. So I got everything kind of arranged, so it's kind of, I'm just going to put out a couple of pieces here, basically the main pieces to the armor, and I'll just set it down here so we get some more light. One thing you're going to notice, what you want to do is you want to take, just leave the printer the way that it's already set to print, because what is going to happen is that you are going to get some spaces like this. Like you can cut down the line, but you're going to get some spaces. Now this is kind of a bad example because I cut everything perfectly. Then when I realized, oh crap, I don't have enough, I actually had to take an extra piece of paper and tape it in. But this is the correct size. Like you can get the alignment right here. Doesn't matter for the printing because you're just going to be tracing this onto the craft foam. Now this is one of the first pieces of material you're going to buy. This is garage foam for, like, you know, non-slick while you're working. This is a sheet of 6. I ended up getting this at my local Excess Cargo store that just sells refurbished electronics and equipment and tools and things like that. I got a sheet of 6 for $12. I bought 2 of them just in case I had any mishaps or muck-ups or anything like that. Here's an example of when you tape everything together. About halfway through I realized, shit, I really need to just tape everything together and go from there. So I taped everything together, then I got some lines, because what you can see right here is that a lot of this part of the armor did not print off, but it's pretty well close here. So you want to, when you get, like, for something like that, it's like I said, it's 9x9. You want to tape everything together and then cut along the lines, and then you're done. So that's just for the first part there. That's just for the chest. I haven't done my measurements yet for the back, but you'll probably see that in the next one there. I'm going to be doing all of my all of my templates first, making sure that they're sized up. I've actually tested out the middle part there, wrapped it around, and it actually fits great. What's going to happen is that you're not going to put both pieces together. I'll show you those in later videos, because there are hooks that you're going to create with the foam, and then with other materials like snaps and Velcro, that's what's going to keep the armor in place there. So that's day 1 for the N7 armor. I won't be cutting anything yet, because one of the materials I'm missing, and what I highly recommend you use to cut the foam with, is a hot knife. Hot knife cuts way better, cuts way faster, and doesn't leave a lot of fringe. Like if you cut with a box cutter or something like that, it can cut fine, but it's gonna fray the edges quite a bit. And what you'll need to do is take a Dremel tool with a sander to it and kind of go around the rough edges. You're still gonna need to do that when you do the hot knife, but you're not gonna need to do it as much. So I'm going to sign off for day 1 for the N7 armor, and I'll see you next time for day 2 when I'm going to go over the rest of the templates. Like I said, the link to all the templates that I'm using, and if you want any more additional help, include a link to the 405 forum post, as well as links to where you can download all the files. Keep in mind that these files are measured to the original owner, so you are going to need to make your own measurements. So until next time, we'll see you next time.